another foolish child dares to trespass on this wicked place, here now a spell to remove that smile from your pretty face. Huggles and haggardash and eyes of a crow. All powers are mine now, and all that you...
Tate bring, bring.
Hello?
We in this bitch.
Okay.
Gonna get crunk. Hola, motherfuckers. It is I, the baddest witch.
And me, the wickedest witch.
The wickedest motherfucking witch. We back for episode number 4.
4, it is.
Yes.
And this is the swirl,
The
alright?
swirl. Are you down with the swirl or not?
Is you down? We're gonna figure it out right now.
Yeah, we just gonna figure this out. So, we want to talk about the swirl, you know, interracial dating, because we just see it so much in the media, walking down the street, like, but there's a certain type of interracial dating that we see the most.
Yes, we do. And there are variations of it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the big one is white and black people. And then, you know, it all trickles down from there, like, you know.
Yeah, like
people besides white people.
Yeah, that's basically it. People besides white people. It's like us and the rest. Like that's literally fucked it. So, but what we noticed, so I was doing some research, right? And statistically, it's been proven that when it comes to like interracial couples, black men and white women are like the most to date outside their race, and they're the most to like link up with each other. Yeah, so I thought that was intriguing.
You know, very, but not surprising.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at
like
all.
You know, media like it's always in the it's always in your fucking face.
Right.
You know.
Right.
As opposed to the opposite.
Yeah, you rarely see black women with white men or like men outside their race and like outside our race in general. So I don't know. It's like why do you think that is though? Like why do you think that we see more black men with white women than vice versa?
Because we're all bitter black bitches.
Apparently, right? That's
yeah.
Bitter black bitches. Apparently.
So no, but how do you feel about dating outside your race?
How do I feel about dating outside my race? Such a touchy subject. I feel like, you know what? It depends. Okay? I think in order for people to date outside their race, there has to be a level of like understanding. What I see is a lot of ignorance. Sometimes people date outside their race and they don't really make people that they date aware of their culture. You know what I mean?
And they don't even know if they are aware of the culture.
Right.
Like having to educate somebody and somebody already being knowledgeable about what it is,
right.
You know, like, and then some people are like blatantly ignorant about it and like refuse to learn, or just like, hey, this is just a person I'm fucking, like,
right.
You know, it's just different type of like. But
I feel like when you invest, like if you are like not just like fucking, but like seriously, like you want to have like something with a person outside of your race. You know what I mean? You need to like. There's shit that they need to fucking know. Not shit that they will ever fucking understand. You know what I mean? Because they don't have to go through it, especially as like a minority. There's certain shit that other races will never fucking get. No matter how many books they read, how many African American like classes they take, how down they like are. You know what I mean? There's quote. Go ahead. Oh, you're saying like quote. Oh yeah, like yeah, like how many they'll just start be quote unquote down. Like so it's just I think what pisses me off, like, I don't mind people dating outside their race, but it's just the whole lack of, like, that lack of knowledge when it comes to races that really pisses me off. Because so many times, and I see this mostly in, like, black men with, like, white women. You know what I mean? Like,
she would, like, talk shit about, like, black women.
Yeah.
She's not really cultured as far as, like, you know, what we do, what we are, and, like, you know, our history. And she can blatantly talk shit about me or you know what I mean? Like it's like, and then it's like a non-stopping thing. Like he's like, it's like he doesn't care. Like you know what I mean?
I mean that's a good question though. I feel like, so do you feel that like people who date outside their race? We're gonna come back to this, but there's like so many levels to it. Like okay, so I noticed like a lot of people like even like a lot of like black men on social media, like, you know how they portray black women. Like black women, they always want to portray us in this negative light. We're too difficult, and
we're angry.
We're angry. We are not supportive. You know, like we don't know how to submit. Like, first of all, what are we submitting to? But okay, anyway, you know, like I don't know, like, or like, you know, we just don't have their back. So they, like, a lot of times black men feel like they want to go outside their race because they get that. And what pisses me off when people go outside their race and then they try to like put down another race of women.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
your own race of women.
That's your black ass mom. I know she feels bad that she pushed you the fuck out. Your head was probably big as fuck. And she still like brought your big headed ass into this world. And now you're trying to slaughter black women? Bitch, what?
Right. Your mother is black. Yeah, that's one of the worst things to see. Mm-hmm. Like, it's one thing having a conversation about it, like how you and I, but going like publicly, mm-hmm. like say, like undermine like a woman who you came out of, like a vagina, black culture, what makes you who you are, you're gonna just go ahead and just make it into like
a race war against women. I think a lot of times too, because I see it all the time on social media, like a lot of people who do date outside their race, they don't necessarily do it for like the right reasons. They do it as kind of like a fuck you to their own, and that's what pisses me off. It's like, if you date whoever you date because you like them, you know what I mean, and that's what you seen something in them that you preferred. But if you're gonna date people based on their like skin tones and the stereotypes associated with those skin tones, then I can't get fucky jiggy with that. You know what I mean? Or like the race, like I can't fuck with that. Like, to me, you're a closed-minded individual. You haven't dated all black women in the world, and it says something about you and who you're surrounded by and who you're attracting. That's not a all race, like that's not a black woman issue. That's a you issue, and like you need to seek help. Some men even see it as status, like once you have like a white or like, someone else, other, like you made it in the world. Yeah, like an exotic. You know what I mean? It's like it's this whole fetish that comes along with like status. Like people group different sorts of women on different pedestals, and if you're like, with black women being the least, you know what I mean, mm-hmm. the least wanted group of women. Like Malcolm X said it, like the like. You know, the woman that's like the least wanted is like, it's the black woman. Right. And like, you know, it's fucked up that we're kind of like putting people like, you know, like people move up in the world. Celebrities, they'll have their black ass girlfriend, you know, before they made it. As soon as they make it, who you see on their arm. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, why? But why is it like that? Like, you know, like, why are we just supposed to be the people that are with you during your struggle, and then when you move up, you want to have an exotic because you're of this status now, you know, an exotic, quote unquote, anybody that's just like, you know, not like a black woman, basically somebody that's black, Hispanic, or, you know, somewhere in South America, one of those other countries, or, you know, the usual, a white person. It's just, I don't know, to me it's like a slap in the face, right, to black women. It's not saying don't date outside your race, but do it like don't do it for a different type of reason, right? Yeah, do it because like, what is it? You feel curious? I don't know if you do it. And even like with curiosity, like I feel like it's a thin line between fetish and curiosity. Yes, I'm saying, like, you know, you could be curious about something and you're literally like, you want to know about the experience though, but you're not going in there with these preconceived notions like, oh, black men got big dicks and I only, you know, I want that BBC. Yeah, I want the big black cock, you know, it's like, I'll be watching all this black porn, you know, I'm curious what the black men fuck like, you know, and shit like that. Or like people who be like, you know, like the stereotypes, like white women give like OD crazy head, blah, blah, blah. So I only, you know, or they're mad submissive. And, you know, that's why I want to date white women and vice versa. Like, but when it comes to us, we never have like a good stereotype. It's literally like, black people got attitudes. I heard one, well, I didn't hear one. I seen one while strolling down the comments. It was like, black women can dress really well, but that's not even really, you know, right? It's coming from everything that we are. Like, I don't give a fuck if I can dress well or what. Like, yeah, and that's like people in general. Not everybody can dress well. That's not.
I'm saying that was the only comment I seen. Like somebody trying to give a compliment as far as like stereotyping black women. Yeah.
Who the fuck said this person so I can find them? Bitch, what's your address? I don't know. To me, it's just weird. Like, I just believe in, like, love is love, but don't try to put your race down, just to find your quote unquote love. Like, don't do that. And a lot of times too, like, you need to be educating people, because I'm so sick of people having fucking kids, like mixed kids, and those motherfuckers be having identity issues out the ass.
And their hair be nappy.
Their hair be so fucked up, like, because they don't know how to take care. They get with people who not educated on black hair, just black cock. No offense. But I've seen this too many times. Like, that's literally what it is. Like, people, they aren't prepared for, like, what, like, they're not prepared to have a black kid. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You're white, but your kid is fucking black. That black gene is strong as shit. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like if you're gonna be with, like, a person, you want to be interracial, like, you need to understand, like, okay, I'm having a black kid.
What's going on, like, because it's a lot of shit going on as far as black people now.
Exactly.
Like, your kid can potentially, like, die at the hands of, like, a police officer because they're black.
And you, like, won't ever get why. You'll never have the experience going somewhere, and, you might say, like, oh, I can say the N-word because, like, this person lets me say it. But then one day, you never know, like, your black-ass kid could go somewhere and they'll be met with, like, somebody, like, being racially, like, insensitive towards them, and they won't know how to handle it because you normalized certain things and certain behaviors. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Listen, y'all, if y'all gonna be interracial dating, make sure whoever the fuck y'all date, please make sure they know how to fucking do black ass hair. Like, them mixed kids' hair be looking a little crazy sometimes, be dry, looking rough. Like, not everybody mixed automatically gets that Corbin Blue boing hair. Like, that people be fetish. Like,
I don't want his hair.
I know, but people be, you know what I mean? People like fetish like that type of like hair all the time. Like, mixed people have like 3C, like 3 curls, And 3 guys, if you're not familiar with hair, it's just like looser curls, like more curlier, like the coils. Like waves hair. Not everybody has that hair. Like, some of us, we got 4s and shit. And all hair that, you know what I mean? You know how to take care of your fucking hair. There's no reason why it shouldn't be good. But a lot of people don't know how to do that, and like, it causes a lot of issues. And then it's just like a lot of like racial things you have to think about. Like, I feel like if you're gonna date, you need to think about certain things. You might be cool with it, but think about how people see, like, on the outside. Like, I feel like black people, I say this all the time, we're too welcoming.
Definitely.
We're too fucking welcoming. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to like spew hatred and like blacks for all. But I am though, like, not the hatred, but the, like, the whole black, like, we need to be having our own, like,
we need to be more unified.
Yeah, we need to be more unified, because we're so.
Because let your uncle tell that. Who was it? Fucking Bill Clinton was the first black president. He wasn't.
Like, we're so quick to give people black cards. It pisses me the fuck off. Like, it does. We're not inviting Sam White out to the fucking barbecue because he can do mediocre shimmies. And he's in a black fraternity. Like, why do we really need to do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, pass out black cards. Why can't people, or calling like white people light skin when they have like certain characteristics or traits that are associated with black people? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That pisses me off. Like, why can't they just be a cool ass white person who knows how to hang and talk to different types of people? Like, you can associate with black people.
Right, because I do that a lot, and I don't remember people giving me out no white card or no Indian card.
Shit, where the fuck is my white card? My black ass. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Dead ass. Like, that shit don't happen. I feel like we're so just, like, welcoming. Like, I feel like we invite certain race of people into our circle and we make sure they're comfortable, but it's never like that for us.
Right. I remember having a conversation. She was like, yeah, people at home always say, like, white people always be dropping the N-word, like, nigga this, nigga that.
They
and I'm
do.
like, I was like, well, that's not, that's not good. She was like, well, it's the normal here. Like, it's the norm. Like, I'm like, oh gosh.
But you know why a lot of people think that? Like, I have like white friends, whatever. And my whole thing is like, don't fucking say that shit. I don't give a fuck. Don't fucking say that shit. Don't say that shit. And then I hate people who try to refute it. Like, like, why can't I say it? Like, first of all, you will never have to experience, not even just like the history of it. There are people, you can't act like hatred and like, racism doesn't exist, because obviously there's fucking proof of that shit right now more than ever.
God damn it, bitch, stop saying you colorblind, all right?
Like, you're fucking lying, dude. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're not colorblind. Like, you're not. Unless it's not on your, like, birth certificate or some shit. Like, don't people really be, like, dead-ass colorblind and shit?
Yeah, but bitch, you know I'm black.
But you not, right.
Come on now.
Even colorblind people could see, like, shades of, like, gray. You know I'm darker, bitch. But that really pisses me off. Like, well, everybody says it. Or my favorite, I have black friends, or my boyfriend is black, or, you know what I mean? Like, clap, you want a fucking cookie? Like, some shit is just not meant for you to say. And I feel like if you want to be, like, down with a certain culture, you need to be culturally sensitive to certain shit. And understand that there have been, like, things that happen that you just don't have that privilege to say certain shit. For reasons, like, that you fucking know. And why are we still discussing this shit?
Right.
You feel me? Like, no. Yeah. And I think that's what makes it a little difficult for me. Like, do you think that you could date outside your race? I
can date, but I wouldn't marry.
No? Why not?
I like what I like, and what I like is right, and what I like is
right
is black. That's what I like. That's I can date definitely outside of my race, but I wouldn't see myself marrying anyone besides a black man. Mm-hmm. That's what I want.
Right, yeah.
That's what I'm attracted to, really.
Yeah.
Dating is something different.
But I don't know. What do you mean dating is something different? Like, don't we date to, like, you know, get to know?
Marriage is not on the top of my mind when I date people, so I can just date you.
Really?
Like, it's nothing like I'm trying to, this is my end theory with you. Like, my end. Okay. No, marrying you is at the least of my thoughts. I don't know.
See, I'm like on some shit now where I'm just like, bro, I don't have time to just be dating for fun, like, bitch. I'm not doing that shit. I will be by myself. Like, if I don't get to know a person and, you know, like, see, like, oh, this person's actually all right. Let me, like, date them, because who knows, like, maybe this could be, like, you know, somebody I could spend, like, potential, like, have, like, a potential future with. So to me, it's like, you know what I get,
like, collecting your bones. Like, oh, this person may be like a person that I could potentially be, but like, that's never.
No, I don't know. I think I could date outside my race, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. There's like a lot of shit that be in the back of my head. Like, you know, you go somewhere and, like, say, like, you go to, like, a family event. Mm-hmm. I know one of them says nigga. I know one of their old ass uncles or somebody is, like, you know, mm-hmm. They've been in situations where, like, they talk about, like, black people in negative ways. You know what I mean? Like that. It's just kind of like push you on your toes a little bit. Like, I know I'm gonna go somewhere and the food is not gonna be all that popping, and I'll be, like, disappointed, and I'll be trying to act like I like it. Like.
So what you're saying, you're just gonna be in an awkward situation, pretty much. Like,
yeah, like, I feel like I could date outside my race, but I feel that, like, it would be a lot to adjust to. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's a lot of adjustment. Not saying, I feel like, you know, people, if you like somebody enough that you could do so, but you gotta be realistic too. Like, there's gonna be obstacles and there's gonna be major, it's a culture shock. It's literally a culture shock. Like, it's a clash of cultures. And I think that whoever you end up with, like, they need to understand that, like, yo, bro, this is, like, mad adjustment. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. So why do you think that we don't see many, like, black women date outside our race?
I feel like, well, number one, we don't see it via media because that's not what they're pushing. Mm-hmm. And number two, as far as black women, I don't know. Like, have you ever grown up and you seen any of your, like, your family, like, your women family members, like, date outside their race?
No, it's always black. But my black ass, like, cousins, though, the guys, always dated white chicks.
Right, so it's kind of like put into your head, like, you know.
I feel like, you know what it is? I was doing some research. I found out that black women are very, like, faithful to their own race. Like, they really want to, like, be with their race. But it just so happens that certain black women, like, when we get in, like, positions of, like, power, or, like, the higher up we go on our, like, pay, you know what I mean? Like, the higher we go in education and the higher we go on, like,
pay scale.
Yeah, like, our pay scale. There's literally not that many men of color up there, and it's literally the only option. So it's, like, either date down or date outside your race. Isn't that crazy? So that's why, like, usually, like, you ever see, like, really like educated like black women with like really great jobs, and they have like a white dude or some shit, or like
no,
you ever seen that shit?
I don't really see that too often.
No, I've seen that. Yeah, like black doctors and shit. No, I see that a lot. But usually, yeah, like at med school and shit like that. Like I have friends, and as soon as she got her like little, you know, whatever, like she used to date all the black guys. She went to U of R, and you know, it wasn't that many people. Like it's not that many minorities in U of R, especially like of black men. You know what I mean? Boy, yeah, so yeah, like you know what I mean. And it's, because of like those type of like instances, like you literally just either you date down or you like date outside your race. But I feel like a lot of it is too because of the stereotypes that go against us. A lot of like men outside our race just don't really be checking for us.
Yeah, they're frightened. Right?
Yeah, like they're scared. Like we be like scaring them away. I don't think that's fair. That's fucked up. Like get the fuck out of here.
What do you think? Like dating outside your race define like who you are as a black person?
Your blackness. I struggle with this question all the time. Right? Let me tell you why. Should it? No. But it depends on what kind of person you are. Like, say, like, would you take Malcolm X seriously if he had, like, a white woman? No, right? Exactly! It just seems like a contradiction, like, you know.
So if you're pro-black and all this black shit, you shouldn't be dating no white motherfucker?
Like, I don't know. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, when you're pro-black, when you think of being pro-black, what does it mean? Like, does it mean, like, you know, like, for the advancement of, like, black people, you're for, like, the advancement of your race. I feel like part of the advancement of part of it for advancing our race means to have a black family. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like and have like black family and breed like that type of like relationship dynamic because we don't really see too many. And you know, black people we have like a lot of broken homes. We don't have 2-parent households. Usually drugs, jail, something death, like something tears that apart. You get what I'm saying? So like I feel that
in order to rebuild the community, we need to stay inside of
yeah, we gotta Jewish people do that shit. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people do that shit and, like, their communities are...
Very successful.
Very successful. So, it's, like, maybe. But then it's, like, I always, like, say, like, yeah, like, do we date? Like, does it define our blackness? But do we think, like, by having that mentality, could it possibly block our blessings? You get what I'm saying?
Blessings of what? Love?
Yeah.
And happiness?
Yeah.
And
like,
marriage?
Right.
It doesn't mind.
It doesn't yours?
No.
She's like, I'm marrying black guy, it doesn't matter. So what if you met this most, like, popping white guy, like...
Can't see it, but go ahead.
What if you met this most popping white dude ever? He, like, pay mad attention to you. He knows, like, everything that you like. He goes super hard for you. He invests into you. Like, it's not just a... You know what I mean? Like, he's investing into you, your future. Like, would you turn him down just because he's white?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because what I want is what I want.
I know, right?
He could be a good friend.
Yeah.
He could be a really good friend. He could probably, like, you know, be some other place in my life. You know, he could probably be a good manager, you know, something else, but he can't be my man.
Damn. See, I don't know. I feel like instances like that kind of like make you think. Like,
it made me think. Yeah, he could potentially, but I don't want that. That's
right?
Not
no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I just think that I don't shun away from the idea, but I think that it would just be a lot of adjusting, and that person would really have to be understanding of like a lot of shit. Like, because you won't ever know it, but you could at least like be aware. You get what I'm saying? Like, awareness is definitely key when it comes to interracial relationships. Mm-hmm. Oh, good. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah. But you know what? I think a lot of times people just date outside their race because they figure that I'm tired of my own. And that makes me sad. Because it's like, do you think that we're too hard on each other? Because I feel like people date outside their race, they're easier upon like other people of different races. Like they don't treat them the same that they treat their own. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you think that we're just too hard on each other?
We are hard on each other. We are.
And the way she said it and then she looked at me, I thought it was gonna be something like mad extra and deep. So I was waiting like, damn, she's about to hit me with some shit.
We are. It's just, I feel like it's just it's layers upon why we are so hard on each other.
Mm-hmm. So let's start unraveling.
And there's like different type of like, how can I say it? First starting it off. You know, hold on. What were you saying about that shit?
About which one?
What was it? Hold on. Forget about it. I forgot.
Damn. I'm all curious.
As far as
you choking?
Because I hate this subject, but I guess it got to be spoken about a little bit. Like,
you gotta talk about it.
Oh my gosh, okay. Like the complexities of skin complexion, like that's a doozy.
Yeah, it is a doozy.
I feel like we just bring like a division within our community with certain shit that we have, you know, our thought process,
right? And
that is one of them. Okay. It's really weird to me. I was like, I don't know. Some people feel like
the lighter you are, but you know where that comes from? It comes from Eurocentric like thinking, like quality. So what happened was, because of like Eurocentric standards of beauty, the lighter that African American women have been perceived, the closer they have been linked to, you know, having that European ancestry. Therefore, they're equated to beautiful. Yeah. And, you know, that's kind of where that whole fetishism things comes from, too. That's why I feel really strong about people who just kind of, like, fetishize people. You know what I mean? Just because they're not regular. As if being black is, like, being a black woman is regular. Like...
Like, you have to, if you're a pretty black woman, you have to be mixed with something.
Yeah. It's never just, you're pretty. Like, it's, what are you mixed with? Like, seriously? You know what I mean? As if being black on its own isn't good enough to be beautiful.
Right.
And like, people don't even realize when they say stuff like that how problematic it is and the root of the issue of where it stems from. So to me, it's ignorant, and it
is.
Slavery had a big ass effect on a lot of shit.
Like, I like to go through life with, like, when people, I'm like, I'm black. Like, I'm black. What's your skin color? I'm black. Just know that I'm black. Like, it's just so fucking, I don't know. It's just the way I grew up. Like, I didn't pay attention to that type of shit. Like, it was just not a factor in my life. Like, your skin color and how you are, if you're a different skin color. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that pisses me off, the whole skin color, like, phenomenon.
But people say, like, now, like, it's like, because what was it, light-skinned guys, they were like all the rage back then.
Right.
But now, like, other people, like, now the black women feel like knowing how it feels to, like, feel that type of way. But get over yourself. Come on now, like,
I don't know.
You still hurt off of it? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But that shit, like, blows my mind. What do you feel about it?
About which one? You just hit a lot.
Okay, so just like the whole fetish on, like, let's start it off with, like, the black male.
Oh, it makes me really upset because even if you look at, like, historically speaking, people from other countries used to go to Africa and they would, like, capture black male, like, I mean, and black women too, and they would put them in cages and, like, showcase them, like, you know what I mean, and give them, like, names, like, this black species. Look at his penis, look at her ass, you know what I mean? And they kind of, like, made mockeries of them. So I'm not with that fetish shit, like, at all. Pause. I forgot the question. Where was I going?
Your basically your ideal of, like, you know, the light-skinned black man, how it was, like, all the rage back then. Oh.
What was the question though? I don't like, how do I feel about black men being fetishized? Okay, yeah, that was the question. All right, I'm back. So yeah, I don't like the idea of black men being fetishized, but it's still like that to this day. Like, yeah, they're not putting them in cages, but, you know, there are people of other groups of races. They see, like, black people and they want to know, like, they want to know, and it's not just I'm curious. It's you know, I heard that, you know, black men have this, so they can do this, so therefore I want this person, or I only date this kind because they have this, you know what I mean? And that's when it becomes a fetish. It's like you're only dating a group of people that you don't even know based off of stereotypes that you, like, link with them. And, you know, just like with white men, like, it kind of, like, freaks me out sometimes with white men who like me, because you never know, like, do they genuinely like you, or do you know, are they trying to fulfill some type of like quest?
Yeah.
You know, like, are they trying to fulfill
that red marker and take it off?
Yeah,
Right,
I had an experience. Right, like I had an experience with this white guy before. I think I told you about it in college. Like, some white guy like went on a date with this white guy, right? And he says, what did he call it? He references something about jungle fever. I fucking got up and like went to the bathroom, but I left and I never came back. You see what I'm saying? Like shit like that is like, that's not funny. You get what I'm saying? Like that's when it comes back to like racially insensitive. Mm-hmm. And you know, I'm not really a sensitive
deal with that shit too. Like,
right? Like who wants to deal with somebody who's saying something about like jungle fever? So like, do you even know what the term, like, you see what I'm saying? Like the terminology, like where it comes from and shit like that. It's just like people are just ignorant. And a lot of times they think they like people, but they have all these ignorances that like provoke them to liking certain people, or just to fulfill a list. Like just to cross, I had sex with a black girl, or, you know, I talked to a black girl, and, you know, it was all these things. And I think it just freaks me out, honestly. Like there are people in life who literally just like you because they're trying to like fulfill some like
fantasy.
Yeah, that's
some
fucking weird.
Fucking porn and shit.
Right. Like, I don't know. But you know what pisses me off?
What grinds your gears?
What really grinds my gears is that how black women, they're so quick to like label us. We always get labels, right? First of all, there's no easy group of women in the world. Like, some of us have personalities that are a little stronger than others.
I'm not angry.
But I'm angry that you keep fucking calling me angry. Bitch, you keep calling somebody some shit and eventually they gonna fucking get there. You get what I'm saying?
I'll show you how angry.
Yeah, like you can't do things to certain groups of people and like keep putting shit on them and expect them to not react. You know what I mean? Like, you can't marginalize a group. You can't do that. Like, you can't put a stereotype on a person and expect them to not live up to that stereotype eventually.
Right. I feel like social media definitely has a way of doing that. Like, they already know when you do, like, they know what triggers black women. They know what triggers the black community. Right. So some people just feed into that shit. Right. Allowing it. You got to know the triggers and shit. But yeah, that shit is fucking annoying when it happens. Like, don't box me into like this, what you want me to be.
But, you know, what pisses me off is that it's only black women though. When other groups of women do certain things, like Latina, Hispanic, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's sexy. You know, like, oh, she's just spicy. She's feisty. You know, like, I've seen people be fucking nuts. And like, there's like this whole crazy Latina stereotype. And men eat that shit up. They love it. Like, oh, she cursed me out. She cut my clothes. She did this. But she cooked me dinner after and called me Poppy. Right. So it's okay. Like, bitch, what?
People are delusioned. All right.
People are fucking nuts. You know what I mean? And they live up to, like, I hate those types of stereotypes. Because, like, I know crazy white bitches, too. I know crazy white bitches, crazy Latino. I know a lot of fucking, like, nutty ass people. People who are, like, fucking nuts. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're really trying to put, like, trying to speak for a whole group of women that we're just some angry, bitter black bitches.
Right. There's not like a whole lot of quote unquote research done about us in that aspect. Like, they just want to put that label on us.
But you gotta look at, like, people don't really look at the why of things. Like, black women do not have it necessarily that easy. You know what I mean? At all. Like, we don't have it easy, especially if you look at, like, our communities and, like, how the black family structure is. Black women have literally been having to hold shit down. Like, and it's a lot. And it's stressful. And people, of course, people are gonna be tired, or, you know what I mean? Then you got those families, those same family structures raising kids, and those kids are growing up and seeing that shit, and they're like, they start to, like, grow, like, resentment or just anger. Mm-hmm. And that trickles off into adulthood, and sometimes people don't know how to shake that. Right. It just keeps passing and passing.
And that's what a lot of people need to, like, come to terms with. Like, of course you've been through some shit as a child, and right. Like, we all have, like, been through that shit, but it has to come to a point, you as a grown adult, as whether you're going to take on that shit for the rest of your life, or you're going to try to shake that shit off, right. And try to be you, like, try to be the best you can be. Like, yeah. Certain shit, you just got to, like, look at it and say, acknowledge it. You got to see what it did to you. Did it help you, hinder you? Maybe it did both, but now you can move past it.
Yeah. And I just think,
and see what it can help you, like, you know?
Right. I just think that we're definitely really hard on each other, and we could be there more for each other. You know, like, we could definitely be there more for each other. That way, because, like, who else are we supposed to fucking be there for? We're dead ass, like, we're supposed to be in this shit together.
And it's like different type of communities too.
Right.
Hoteps.
Oh my fucking God.
That, you know, that can, like, you know, not help us as a group, you know? So we just need to all get together.
Like, collectively, but it's just not gonna happen. Cause
hopefully it does.
who, when, where?
Hopefully.
It'll never happen because even like now, yeah, it's not just the whole colorism things that we're like split, like, you know what I mean? That I feel like it's trying to get better because it's spoken about. And you know, when people don't ignore things anymore and they bring them to light and bring awareness to shit, then that's a start. You know, we're not there yet, but it's a start. Because it does exist, and I hate when people try to act like it doesn't exist.
Right.
But, you know,
I feel like it won't happen for us, our generation, like when we die, but like, you know, progress.
Probably not even our kids. Probably like a few more after. But who knows? Because this shit been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, and guess what?
It's going to take a lot of years to change it. Yeah.
I don't think it'll ever be 100% gone.
Hopefully it does.
She's raw.
Hopefully it does. I am, because I want the best for my people.
I do too.
I want the best.
Part of one of the best for us is being realistic about shit. And it's like, a lot of us just aren't realistic. We just expect things to just like, don't do this, don't do that. But we gotta talk about this shit in order for it to like get out to the light first, and then try to find like, how can we overcome this? How can we fix this? We can't just act like shit don't exist.
Yeah, and so what are those answers?
Well, okay, this right now, like what we're doing, having like a dialogue on it is like literally like a start. You know what I mean? Get into the root of the issue, like why? Because there's so many ignorant people right now, like still ignorant. Like Kodak Black, how he always talking about dark women, but look how fucking dark he is. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he says things in a really offensive way. Then he has the nerve to say like, it's just my preference, and that's what the issue is. People don't understand that they say really like offensive shit and then try to label it as preferences, and that's what pisses me off. And that's like another thing that you see like with like a lot of interracial shit too. You know what I mean? Like people are so, it's my preference, but you have to understand like a preference and a judgment. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like an ignorant judgment at that. So I don't know, but it's gonna take a long time. I'm not even gonna be acting like let's fix it right now. Like
we can start fixing it right now. It's not gonna be fixed, but we can start building.
But that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like people know about that now. But a lot of that too was kind of like getting rid of like the stereotypes. Like, you know, I get told that I act light skinned. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I mean?
and then you have to say, how do you respond in that? How do you respond?
I said I act like, you know, I'm a black person who just so happens to not like texting. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That's not acting light skinned. That's like, what does that even mean?
Right.
How could you even act like a complexion? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? You sound stupid. Or how you know, we just have our ignorances. I don't know. So I just think that as a black community, basically where I'm going with this, as a black community, like we need to work within us as a group first, collectively, or even just like, you need to have some type of understanding before we try to venture off into other races of people, because we bring in like that shit to other groups of people. Then when they meet other black people,
they feel like it's cool to say nigga.
Yeah. Or it's like they could get away with doing and saying certain shit because, you know, we're not on the same page and we got a lot of work to get done and it's not fucking cool. So I don't know, but basically we're about to get to this motherfucking Cunts Corner, because that was a deep ass discussion. That shit is a lot. So this week's Cunt Corner.
Cunt Corners. The book that I am recommending is, where is that shit?
Where the book at, go?
It's inside my sticky. It's Behold, A Pale Horse by William Cooper. All right, it's a great read. It's going against the grain, like how this conversation is. He's basically a U.S. naval intelligence. He reveals information that remains hidden from the public eye. You know, ask yourself,
That book was
ask yourself about the crack era, all right?
No, that book was wild. He even like exposed like Area 51 and mad shit. I have that book at home. That's a really crazy book.
It's a really good read.
I actually got it from my Hotep ass stepdad. my stepdad is a Hotep.
He is.
That shit is fucking ridiculous. He be doing mad shit with numbers and math and yeah. It's not even numerology and no fun shit. Like It's black.
See, that's a whole nother conversation because I'm about to laugh. I'm about to pee my pants now.
I ain't have a conversation with that.
Just nod and smile.
I totally get into it. This is ridiculous. All right, but now we're gonna get into the podcast you ought to know. So this week's podcast we felt like you need to know. Besides us, because we're like fucking lit, but we don't mind talking about people. So this is one called Unwifable Podcast. I just started listening to them.
Oh yeah, I heard of that one.
They're very cool. Like they got some good ass content, and like just their topics in general is really, I guess, taboo-ish. So if you got
something similar like us.
Yeah, we got maybe a future collab. You never know. But yeah, you can follow them at their Instagram. It has like the link to all of their stuff and their episodes at Unwifable Podcast. So check them out. Like they're really, really, truly fucking dope. So yeah, and on that note, we just wanted to, kind of just give our little insight on interracial dating. But
in that you did the baddest witch.
Yeah, thank you so much. Basically, just date who you want to date, but make sure you hold your culture down, yo. Don't be a fucking culture traitor.
Maybe you should become more self-aware of yourself before you start dating out with somebody else, alright?
Yeah.
Know who you are before you start.
Know who you are, and just please hold it down. Don't be out
Don't let that bitch say nigga, alright?
Don't be disappointing us and shit. Check motherfuckers. Like, you feel me? Hold it down for the culture. Everybody stay black, stay golden, and we out this bitch. We out.
I'll wait to the mic.